Mo, mo, mo.
Me, me, mo.
Me, 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 me.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live recording of Guide to the Unknown with me,
Hello.
William.
And me, Kristen.
We're going to be getting started in just a few minutes. We're going to talk about something that almost ripped from the headlines.
Yeah.
Depending on what section of the newspaper you've been reading.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's important to you.
Yeah. But the other important thing to note, this is our first live stream of 2020.
Yes, I know. Hello, feels good to be back.
We've released 2 shows.
I think so.
Yeah, 2 shows in 2020.
Today's date. Yeah.
Neither of which were actually recorded in 2020. So this is
Oh,
really...
you're right. You're right.
This is really the kickoff.
Yes.
This is going to be the deciding factor. Will it be a good year or a bad one?
Oh, boy, let's see.
Let's
I
see.
did feel like yesterday was my January 1st. I was
Why?
feeling better.
Oh, yeah. You've
was,
been
like,
sick
ready
for
to-
a long time.
Yeah, I was like ready to like do stuff again and be in the world, and it felt like it's my first day of the week, and it felt like my first day of the year.
Sure.
So
you
this feels
sound
appropriate.
so much better. You don't sound like a sicko anymore.
I feel so much better. It's
Kristen
like
was on like
unbelievable.
death's door
I
for
was
a while.
so sick.
Yeah.
So sorry about us having to miss last week. It blew so hard.
Whatever. That Grimoire show was pretty fun, though.
Yeah. I know. I listened to it because I didn't like remember it.
I didn't remember it at all.
Yeah.
That was
I thought it was
back
good.
in October, October 2019. And you can tell because we make a joke out of it, but just for the people that are here live, it was awesome that like Kristen and I think we mentioned in passing that we were going to do that live show at the library, but we didn't really,
Oh, that nobody was there.
we didn't really push it that much. And so
We
when
didn't
we
push
went
it
there,
like at all because we were doing our live show, like our own live show where we were selling tickets and stuff, and we wanted people to come to that. That was
so
like
we were
priority.
afraid of cannibalizing it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
for the library show, we were just kind of like, let's see what the library does. And it was awesome. We got there, we set up, and then we just had a room full of empty chairs.
Yeah.
It was optimistically set up as if like all those rows were going to be filled.
Yeah.
And then at the show time that we were supposed to start, still nothing was really popping. And 2 people came in.
Yeah. Yeah.
2 people. And I was disappointed, but not because I wanted more. I was disappointed because at a certain point I knew the writing was on the wall, and I was like, how awesome will it be if we get not 0, not 2 or more, but 1.
Right. Totally.
I would have
I
loved.
felt awkward for them.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
didn't really care so much, but I was like, this is weird.
Yeah, it is weird to have just like strangers talk to only the 2 of you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
made eye contact with them for the first like 10 minutes just to be like
Friendly.
presenterly and friendly, and then at a certain point I was like, it's very weird of me to make eye contact with them because it just further highlights that they're the only 2 people in the room besides
I know.
us or
Well,
our
I'm about
friends.
to say,
Like our mom was there.
Yes, and Will's wife Allie was there. So
Yeah.
I was making eye contact with everybody. I was going around.
Yeah. But I really, at a certain point, wanted exactly 1 person. Yeah. I thought it would be hilarious. And I thought that we could, even over the course of the show, periodically like tell each other something about a grimoire and then be like, now what'd you think about that?
What do you think about that, Stan?
Did you enjoy that, Stan?
Yeah.
Up, and then just start turning to the listening audience and be like, all right, everybody, you cannot see, but Stan has had enough.
Stan's out.
Stan's leaving the room. Bye, Stan. Have a good night. And he's
And we're alone.
gone.
Okay, very
all
good.
right, the room is empty.
Yeah.
I really wanted that situation, but it was a very lovely couple.
They were.
They're very nice. They stayed for the long haul, even
They
though
did.
at
It
a
was
certain
very
point
sweet.
I said to them, I don't know if you remember, I said, don't feel like you need to stay to be polite.
Yes.
We're aware how weird this will be for you.
Yes.
But they were very nice. They
I
stayed
think
the whole
that
time.
helped that we kind of broke that.
Yeah, it
you know
was
what I
so
mean? We were
yes.
like, we know this is weird.
Right.
Thank you for coming, but you don't have to stay for the whole time if you don't want to. We're not going to like whatever. But they stayed.
They stayed. They were very, very nice.
Yes.
They told us that they count how many trick-or-treaters they get.
Yep.
And it was very like lovely and sweet. And then as they were leaving, I don't know if I left it in the recording, but you go like, I hope you have a record-breaking year. About how many trick or treat. It was like very sweet. It was like
I
very.
don't remember if it was in the. I might not have listened all the way to the end or something.
It felt very locally.
Yeah.
I may have cut it because it probably didn't make sense in context.
Yeah, right,
but
right.
It was. I don't know. It was fun.
It was
So-
nice. I love doing it. So
Yeah, exactly.
whatever.
I love absolutely. I would love to do it more.
Yeah.
Doing live shows and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
But it was fun. I'm glad that it is out there in the world.
Me too.
Let's see. So
All
we're
right,
going to post, of course,
Yep.
on at GTTU Pod everywhere, just to give everybody a heads up that the show is here, that we have returned.
Yep, we're on and popping. If you
Mm-hmm.
guys want to share that too, so that your friends can come in and watch as well, and then you can gossip about us behind our backs later, by all means, go ahead and share the link so people can hang out.
We love that hot goss, but
Yeah.
I will need you to spill that tea if it's about Kristen.
Don't you dare.
I want to know what people say about
Don't
Chili
you
Chrissy.
dare.
I gots to know.
I'll be upset.
I will cry. I'm also sharing on @TheMythTraveler on Facebook and Twitter in case you want to follow me. I've also been crushing it in my Insta stories.
Yes.
I finally have learned.
You have been smushing it.
I finally have learned how to do those, I think.
Yeah, I think it's case by case, but like, yeah, you either hold it and it goes or you have to tap it.
Well, no, I understand structurally how it works, but
we're talking about those things on Instagram right now where something appears over your face and there's like, what's it called? It's almost like a casino machine thing
like a
going
slot
over your
machine
head.
thing
Yeah,
to tell
yeah.
you which Muppet baby you are.
Ooh,
Which
yeah, good one.
What's a good one?
The Twin Peaks one, which character from Twin Peaks?
Yeah, all those low res pictures of people from Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not just talking about the carousel-y which character are you. I'm talking about stories overall. I didn't understand.
You have been more active on stories. That's true. I didn't really think about it, but you're right.
Yeah, there was a point at which I was trying to do at least one a day, just to enjoy it.
Yeah,
because I never make contact with people who follow me online.
Yeah, right.
Like I even sparingly do the Hunt a Killer stuff anymore. I have the next Escape the Invasion right there. I said I was going to do it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I just didn't.
I
just didn't. But so like I feel bad because I feel like I disappear and stuff. So I was like, I'll do a little something, give the people what they want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a taste.
Just a taste.
Just a taste.
Stories get viewed more than posts, so you're doing the right thing.
They give you what, like more like
people watch stories more often than they look at posts in the regular feed now.
Oh, I see.
Stories, priorities. Remember that, I just made that up.
Okay.
Stories,
priorities. I still think that Instagram is a busted structure.
It is. There's a lot about it that's very annoying.
But I'm liking the stories. I follow
Yeah.
Greg Mania. I get a lot of my
yes,
casino-y things from Greg Mania.
Yep. Greg Mania is a good friend of mine who I'm having breakfast with soon.
Oh, is that right?
And if you want to follow somebody who's really funny and also does a lot of those story things that you can then steal at Greg Mania on Instagram.
I thought you were going to say, if you want to come with us to breakfast. But I guess my invitation got lost in the mail.
I guess it must have.
Got lost in the email.
Yep. Sorry.
When's his book come out?
I can't say yet.
Oh, but you know?
Yes, I do.
Is he doing an audiobook?
I don't know, but you know what? I'll be able to say at the end of the month because pre-orders start at the end of this month and the cover is also revealed this month.
Okay.
And the publishers like it a lot. They've decided, I don't think this is a secret. I feel like it's fine.
Should you maybe not say it?
No, I think it's okay. It's coming out in hardcover first and then paperback, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
They feel like they're going to need multiple.
Yes, that's great.
Instead of just going into paperback. So
that's excellent.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So get in on the ground floor on Greg Mania.
That's so cool.
I know.
Is this Bobby?
Yes. I saw that one.
How do you do this?
Like the same.
wait,
I don't know. I haven't
wait,
done that.
you
It's
can
like
do
the same
this?
kind of thing. Yeah.
Try this. I'm sorry. Bobby, my buddy Bobby put his face on Stone Cold Steve Austin, so I'm about to do this on The Myth Traveler on
as a way of sharing.
Some face replacement going here. Hey, everybody. We're live right now on youtube.com/talkbomb. All you, what does he say?
I don't know, but he says Stone Cold.
Hey,
said so.
jabronis. We're all live doing Guide to the Unknown on youtube.com/talkbomb. This is not a filter. I look like this. This looks like shit.
By the way, guys, I can't really see the chat from where I'm sitting, but hello, people. Oh my God, that's horrible looking.
It looks terrible.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I'm glad that those are going to start going viral now.
I like it. I know. I'll have to try that.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I'm good if you are.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Do you want to go first or should I?
It doesn't matter. I'll go first.
Okay. Can I say one other thing? I don't think it'll make sense for the show itself.
Mm-hmm.
Would it? No, I don't think it makes sense for the show itself.
What?
If anybody out there lives in New York or the tri-state area this Saturday...
Oh.
This Saturday at midnight.
I think it makes sense for the show itself. Why not?
Does it?
Why not?
I guess, because it'll come out and people have 1 day's notice to get tickets instantly.
1 day's fine.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me pull up the deets.
Yeah.
Just so I have it.
I think it'd be cool.
It's kind of cool. It's a little movie screening.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to. Movie screening? Movie...
Yeah. Showing?
Yeah, movie showing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a screening. It's fine.
Nighthawk Cinema in Williamsburg.
I'm seeing Tails saying hi to KB, so hi to both of you. I see Mom. Hello. And anybody else here who I'm not saying hi to, hi.
Yeah,
I can't
hello,
see the
everybody.
thing.
Hello. Yeah, sorry. Hey, Mel. Mel's glad to finally be able to catch us live again.
Good.
With smiles, ghosts, and skeletons. Hey, Mom. All right, everybody. All right. Yeah, I think we're good.
Cool. All right. Here we go. Sniff or anything?
Me.
Hello. Welcome to Guides to the Unknown. I'm Kristen.
And I'm her brother, William.
And today we are going to be talking about paranormal animals in honor of Doctor Dolittle coming out on the day that we release this.
Yeah, exactly.
The hotly anticipated Doctor Dolittle.
Yep, this is an official tie-in from whatever studio made that piece of crap movie.
William.
I mean.
I saw a review for Doctor Dolittle today that said, "Hey, it's better than Cats," was the title of the review.
Oh boy, they should have done a
it's
bunch.
It's not
of,
getting good reviews at all.
They should have done a bunch of ads where Doctor Dolittle was talking to the cats and trying to figure out, like, what happened to them and if he can fix them.
Maybe he could. Maybe that's the tie-in we need. Maybe that would have fixed Cats.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if it fixed Dr. Dolittle, but maybe he could have helped those cats.
Right. So this Dr. Dolittle movie, Kristen and I have low-key been keeping track of this thing for like years. Will made a fake Dr. Dolittle poster that I will post on our social media years ago because we talked about this film being announced, film, on our old podcast, Book Club, Schmook Club, like 3 years ago or something. And then Will made a mock poster that looks like probably just as good as the actual poster they came out with. Yes, and I said that it should be part of the Magoonaverse.
Yes, that's right.
Because they should reboot Dr. Dolittle and Mr. Magoo.
Yes.
It should lead to an eventual team-up.
That's right. Do things Marvel Cinematic Universe style.
Right, but so Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, it's not impossible.
No.
Robert Downey Jr. is Dolittle. And it looks terrible. I've heard it's terrible.
We saw the trailer for Dolittle in the theater before we saw Cats.
Right.
And we just turned and looked at each other just like, whoa, what is this? Oh, remember there's a really funny part where Kumail Nanjiani was the voice of like an ostrich?
Yes.
And he popped up and he's like, what's going on here? Or something. And we were like, whoa.
Couldn't believe it. It was overwhelming. The trailer's full of like whimsy. And so then to have Kumail Nanjiani just be like, what's this?
Yeah.
It took me aback.
It was so jarring.
So we're going to talk about dogs and cats from hell.
Yes. Or I've got
versions.
Mythology around cats. Basically anything paranormal having to do with cats.
Sure. Well, I just mean spooky.
Yeah.
Like these are the dogs and cats that Dr. Dolittle would not want anything to do with.
No part of it.
Although I'm sure he would say that he turns away no patient.
That's true. I mean, it would be going against the Hippocratic Oath to turn them away, right? Would it?
I don't know. The spirit of adventure.
Yeah, does he have an accent? I think we were like, he's basically being Sherlock Holmes, but a Danimal doctor.
Yeah, but also
really. I guess
like
just British,
like romancy,
adventuring.
Yeah.
He's definitely like jumping on a ship.
He is.
Yeah.
But before we get into all that, two quick things.
Yes.
One, Kristen and I just released a brand new episode of the Netherworld Dispatch over on patreon.com/GTTUpod, which you can listen to right this very second.
Yep.
You can also kind of sort of watch it. YouTube removed it instantly.
Yes, but
blocked on YouTube. Too hot for YouTube.
But we have a link to a private OneDrive where you can watch it. So it's not the same experience you might be used to, but it's still there.
Yes, we had to find our own workarounds.
Yes.
Basically, Kristen and I decided to take a look at a few horror music videos to see what the bands Creed, 30 Seconds to Mars, Aphex Twin, and Michael Jackson thought would scare the dickens out of everybody.
Yes, and some of them did in different ways than you might think.
My God. One of them sends a genuine chill up your spine.
Yes.
Guess which one. Anyway,
it's disturbing.
Go get that right now. Become a Netherworld Warrior starting at $4. Patreon.com/GTTUpod. You can get it right in your app. Listen to it. Stuff like that.
That's right. It's its own special podcast just for Patreon people.
Yeah. Full feature-length podcast.
Yeah.
The other quick announcement is that just for fun's sake, if anybody out there lives in New York or the tri-state area, Kristen and I, along with Allie, are going to be at Nighthawk Cinema in Williamsburg on Saturday night. So literally, if you're listening to this on Friday when it drops, tomorrow at midnight, you go to Nighthawk Cinema in Williamsburg and buy yourself a ticket to see Scream 2.
Can you believe it, guys?
We got tickets to see Scream 2 at midnight. This might be the first time I will have ever seen this movie in a theater.
I think so for me too. I was trying to remember. I don't think I saw any of them in the theaters.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am too. I'm stoked. It might be my favorite Scream. Can I say that?
I know. Pretty controversial.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Yeah.
But I've wanted to see the original Scream in theaters. That's like a bucket list thing for me almost.
I would love that. Yep.
I know. But so I'm pumped. I don't know why they're doing just Scream 2 because it doesn't
weird.
seem like they're doing any of the others. But yes, Kristen and I will be at this showing of Scream 2 at Nighthawk Cinema in Williamsburg on the 19th.
Is that right?
They screw up the dates a little bit because they do the whole like midnight's
confusing.
technically the next day thing.
Right. So it's actually Saturday the 18th
is when you should
midnight.
be driving to Williamsburg.
Right, exactly. So it's technically the 19th, but 18th for normal purposes.
Yes, exactly. But there you go.
Yeah,
that's it.
totally.
Hopefully we'll see some people there. We'll watch some stabbings and stuff and see Dewey step in that pizza.
Yes. Oh, can't wait to see that on the big screen.
I know.
Oh, come on. All right, so let's launch into it. So I'm going to start us off with anything spooky about cats, black or otherwise. So, William, there are many different types of cats. Jellicle, for one.
Ugh.
Wrote that down.
Ugh.
Will, any just real quick stray thoughts on the movie Cats?
We
just mentioned that we saw it in the theater together. Anything off the top that's Guide to the Unknown? The whole thing is kind of Guide to the Unknown adjacent because it's so scary and messed up.
Here's a very basic thought. The movie Cats has become very meme-ified. People are sharing it endlessly online as like a sign of something that sucks. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Like they talk about how this movie stinks.
Yeah.
It's funny though because I feel like all those jokes, while hilarious, almost serve as a band-aid over the fact that the experience of watching Cats it sucks.
I hated it.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad it's not funny.
No, I didn't find it like fun bad or anything. I really hated the experience of watching it. I was like, it's boring and annoying and kind of inscrutable. It's not even bad enough to be that much fun throughout. I think some people do feel it is. So that's great. But for me, for the most part, it would be a second of being like, ew, what?
Yes.
But then that just goes away and then I'm just watching Cats.
And I've always been irritated by Cats and mystified by it.
Yes, we've long talked about Cats on our podcasts.
But the structure of that story is just cat after cat singing about themselves with no narrative.
No.
They tried to inject something in the new movie by having Mr. Mistopheles. No, he's the magic one.
Oh, no. McCavity.
McCavity, the mystery cat.
Right.
They tried to turn him into more of a true villain.
Right. There are wanted posters for McCavity in the Cats world. Who made those posters? Are there cat police? Who are after McCavity that we don't get to see.
And they have a whole song and dance about what it means to be a police officer.
Right.
But it was too little narrative. Why wouldn't you just change the Broadway play to make a story? I just don't understand how you couldn't take that opportunity. They just kept it the same way, which sucked.
Yeah.
And still sucks.
Yes.
And they made a movie that sucks.
Yeah, totally.
And they filmed it in the most mind-boggling way ever. It's ugly.
Yeah, it looks so weird.
So on top of it being funny to share images from the movie Cats, don't forget, it's horrible.
It also sucks.
Yeah.
Right.
Those are my thoughts.
Okay. I mean, honestly, ditto. I don't think I have really anything else to add to the discourse. I did not enjoy it, and it's really weird, and I wouldn't even say it's like a worth watching thing. Yeah, I mean, there are worse movies you could watch.
Right.
But I wouldn't say, oh, this is so bad, you have to check it out. Like, you're good. Just seeing the stuff online, you've got the gist of it, and that gist is all you need.
Yeah.
I remember that was my first instinct, that maybe the gist is all I need, but then I found out that they were fixing the bad CGI, and it made me panic.
Yeah.
Because I was like, if I do see it someday, I don't want to see the fixed version. So Will and I rushed out the last day before they were changing the CGI.
We got like emergency tickets to see the original worst version of Cats possible.
Yes.
I will say one of the additions they made was having Rebel Wilson fight against McCavity, and she goes,
oh, I know.
She says something along the lines of like, they always told you to look out for the crazy cat lady.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a quip that makes no logical sense.
Well, I don't think we should be looking for a whole lot of logical sense in here anyway, but especially from a character who peels off a cat suit to be a cat underneath, still wearing like a hoodie or something. I don't know. Very, very confusing.
It was trash.
Yeah. So There are jellicle cats, sure.
Yeah.
But in general, cats have kind of a spooky reputation. Black cats are obviously a thing that's very tied in with horror. And cats in general, like, I have one and I forget that this is a thing, but it's true. There are a lot of people who are scared of cats or don't like them. They find them creepy. And they're kind of depicted as always watching. They're slinking around. They're like observant and sneaky and creepy, that you can not realize that there's a cat looking at you, and you just look and they're already like staring at you, which I definitely have experienced. I took a picture of Chloe actually while I was typing up my stuff. She was looking at me through the windows in a door in the other room, just staring. And I have the picture. It's not that interesting, but I'll post it with the episode because I zoomed in. It was kind of funny.
Cats are little crazy people. Little maniacs.
They are weird.
Yeah.
There's an entire subgenre of books about cats solving mysteries. We're familiar with Coco and Yum Yum, but there's a whole other world of cozy cat mysteries, which I dipped my toe into recently, and I read one from the library.
Dipped your paw?
I dipped my paw. It was okay. But let's first talk about some of the mythology and folklore around cats from ancient Egypt, because this might have been one of the, if not the way that cats being kicked off as something that's potentially supernatural came to. I don't remember how I started that sentence. It's one of the earliest supernatural
one of the origins of cats being
of
considered
cats.
Supernatural.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So ancient Egyptians held cats in super duper high regard. There were penalties for killing or hurting a cat that were extreme. Cats were seen as protective because they killed poisonous snakes for real, and they were thought to guard the pharaoh. So just very protective, big deal beings. So maybe because of that, there are multiple Egyptian deities with cat heads, and they represent justice, fertility, and power. They were thought to be travelers between the realms of the living and the dead, that they could kind of transcend the veil. And many of them were mummified the same way that humans were in ancient Egypt. So they were like super respected and super revered. There are pictures you can Google. It's not scary or gross or anything. It's as scary or gross as seeing like a human mummy, where it's like a mummified cat head, and they'll be in kind of like a, not exactly clothes, but there'll be like a garment that they're mummified in. It's really interesting. You can definitely tell that they were laid to rest with a lot of respect and a lot of care. It's not just a mummified cat. It's kind of like a whole thing. Also in the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead, a cat's image represents the sun god Ra. So cats were a big deal.
Big old deal.
Very hot in ancient Egypt. And so maybe that kind of helped influence the way that we've seen them later on as we go through history, and it kind of built and built.
Meme idea. You know that that one meme of Mustafa or whatever from Zoolander, and he goes, "Hansel's so hot right now."
Wait, what the hell's that guy's name? Maybe it is Mustafa.
Mugatu.
Yeah.
Replace his head with a pharaoh's head, and it says, "Cats so hot right now."
And his hair kind of is like pointy like cat ears, so that would probably like transfer quite cleanly.
And he carries that cat.
Oh yeah.
Or no, he carries a dog.
Oh damn it, you're right.
Because that would have been too Mr. Bigglesworth.
Oh yeah, he's like obey my dog.
Obey my dog.
That's right. What do you think about those cats that don't have any hair?
I'm sure they're just like other cats.
Yeah. Do you find them gross or anything?
I personally don't find them gross.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'd be curious to hold one. I do feel like it would be like holding like a thawed turkey.
Yes.
But
I think probably.
They're just an animal. I like animals.
I do too.
Yeah.
I know some people are really creeped out by them. I think they're kind of cute. Like they're fine. It would feel different to hold one.
It would just feel odd.
Remember when Rachel on Friends bought a cat like that? Because like I don't know what the deal is. Maybe she was going through like a stressful time and it was like a stress response or something. I remember she's like complaining about whatever, and she's like, "Now I ended up with this cat that looks like a hand."
She has to carry it around on a pillow.
Yes, yeah, it's like too delicate.
Yeah,
Friends is great. I haven't watched that in forever. Okay, so now let's move on to arguably the most notorious kind of cat, the black cat.
I'm really sorry for saying this, but
Yeah.
I just thought of it. I called that Will Ferrell character from Zoolander Mustafa and referenced Mr. Bigglesworth, even though he has a dog.
Yeah.
He is in Austin Powers as Mustafa.
Oh my God.
Where Mr. Bigglesworth originated.
Is where he lives.
Do you think he was looking at Dr. Evil and thinking, someday?
Laying in wait. Who is Mustafa? I don't remember.
He also pops up in the time travel, one of the time travel ones. I think maybe just the second one.
Okay.
He's impossible to kill, and he has a little red fez.
Okay, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's weird. Yeah, you did a mind meld.
Yeah.
Ryan watched The Spy Who Shagged Me the other night. Did that maybe seep into your...
Did he go to a midnight screening of Austin Powers 2?
It was a midnight screening at home. He watched it at home, and he gets out really late, so it probably was.
What a dream.
He said it was great. He wanted something that would put him in a good mood, if I remember correctly. I think that's why he watched it.
Mwah. Yeah. It was a masterpiece.
I think it worked. Okay, so black cats.
Yes.
So not everyone thinks that they are bad luck. They're considered good luck in Japan, and some people believe that a gal who owns a black cat will be lucky in love.
Oh.
In Germany, a black cat crossing your path right to left is bad luck. If it crosses left to right, then it's good luck. I just did that backwards if you're watching, but still.
Weird.
I was thinking that's because when you read, you move left to right, or kind of like forward motion is kind of thought of as like left to right. So maybe right to left is kind of, it feels like it's moving backwards. So that's bad luck.
It's weird too, because left and right are relative terms. Depends on which way you're facing.
Yes.
So it's not like east to west or west to east, which you could maybe make more
I guess it's whatever your
assumptions
perspective
about.
is.
I know,
you know
but
what
it's
I mean?
just weird.
It is kind of weird.
So if a cat walks between us, one of us has good luck and the other has bad luck.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very weird.
Oh boy. Well, things better go right for me.
Yeah.
Let me see. Britain is of two minds about that kind of thing. Some sources say that a black cat crossing your path either way is good luck. Others say that it walking away from you is good luck. Toward you is bad luck. So I wonder if it's because if black cats are symbolizing bad luck and it's walking away from you.
Sure, that's interesting.
The cat itself is still bad luck, but it's leaving you.
Right.
Is maybe the thing. I thought that was kind of interesting. And that toward away sort of thing also applies to some ship lore. I wrote it that way. I don't know if ship lore is actually its own thing about black cats. If a black cat walks onto and then off of a ship, no bueno, that ship is going to sink when it goes out. When it goes out of port.
Oh, that's interesting. So, like, you see a cat
go onto a ship and then
ramp.
be like, boo.
I got to get out of here. Yeah. I mean, the idea of animals being able to see something that we cannot.
Right.
You know, if they're seeing that this ship is a doomed vessel.
Yeah, exactly.
That's interesting.
Exactly. So you wouldn't want that. But some sailors prefer having a ship cat for their journey because a black ship cat for good luck. So I guess a ship cat is just a cat that goes with you for the whole journey at sea.
Right.
But I would think you would like wander off ship. It's not like they have such a maybe it's just like an instinctive knowledge of the boundaries, like that being dangerous, which I'll go into it a little bit at the end. That could be the case that the cats are just like, nope, I'm not walking off the ship. But still, I don't know.
Well, it's also
cat
strange.
Outside.
Cats are tricky to me as like a companion just out in the wild because what is to stop them from just wandering away from you?
Right.
I mean,
totally.
dogs too.
You could
Leash your dogs.
Oh, definitely.
If you're walking around in the world,
dogs.
put a leash on that dog. I don't care how smart you think it is.
Same. I don't even want to get started. Leash that dog. It's
dog.
still an animal.
Leash your dog.
Yes. Anyway.
But like a cat in particular, I would assume that it might just disappear.
I know.
Yeah.
I know because they about to say I'm playing right into this cat stereotypes. They're so slinky and curious and whatever. Right. I would think the same thing, but maybe there's something about a ship cat that just knows that there's danger that away. Like maybe they can sense it's not solid if they were to jump off of it or something.
Maybe.
Who knows? It doesn't really matter, but I thought that was kind of interesting. The fishermen's wives, the guys who go out to sea, liked to keep black cats at home as well, hoping that having them in the family would protect their loved ones while they were away. So this is from a school of thought that these cats are good luck.
Yeah.
So having it at home is going to somehow psychically protect your loved one who's out at sea. There are also Scottish legends that say that black cats symbolize prosperity. So either having one or having it cross your path or whatever is going to make you prosperous and good luck. But there are also Scottish legends that look at black cats in a scarier kind of way. It's basically Celtic mythology, so mostly Scottish, but it pops up in some Irish stuff as well. They have a fairy creature called the Cat Sith.
Aha.
That's basically a black cat. Are you talking about the dog Sith?
I've got a dog Sith.
Okay, awesome. I should mention, one of our listeners and friends, Brett Manning. So if you go to her Instagram, I think it's just Brett Manning Art. And I'll have to write down the things to post with this episode. Man, a lot of things that I want to post.
Yeah.
She has a painting that she did of a dog Sith.
Oh.
And she tagged us in it when we were talking about Siths of Star Wars a few weeks ago.
Oh, interesting.
Because she saw the link and thought it was cool.
Yeah.
So check out Brett Manning Art, and I will also post that picture online.
Awesome.
So anyway, people of the Scottish Highlands weren't into this cat Sith. They said that it could steal your soul by passing over a corpse before it was buried. So I was trying to remember. I think there's something else where, or I could be thinking the same thing, where if like a cat jumps over your corpse, it steals your soul, or something. Not a cat.
Something like that.
I'm not sure, but if it just passes by a corpse before it was buried, that meant that the cat Sith could steal your soul. So I thought this is something that's super cool. In order to distract the cat Sith and keep it away from the body, a tradition started where people would play games, wrestle, work out riddles together, and listen to music in the room that the corpse was in during a funeral. Because that would distract the cat Sith away from jumping over the body and stealing the soul. They also made sure that there wasn't a fire in the room because it was said that the cat Sith was drawn to warmth. So you don't want a cat Sith being like, ooh, warmth, ooh, a body for me to jump over and steal its soul.
Right.
So they kept the room fireless.
Interesting.
Very interesting. There are other little kind of stories about the cat Sith. It was said that on Samhain, if you left out milk for the cat Sith on your doorstep to drink when it's walking by, you would receive its blessing. But if you didn't, you would be cursed to have all your cows be dry for the coming year. Milkless.
For a year?
I actually just said year. I didn't write down year.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking because Samhain comes once a year, maybe you could undo the curse if they come next year and then you do have milk out or something. Your cow would be as dry as Jack's cow from Into the Woods.
Oh, no.
Don't want that. Mother won't be happy. There was also a belief that the cat Sith was a witch who could transform into the form of a cat 9 times. So kind of a 9 lives thing. That seems to be maybe where the idea of a cat having 9 lives came from. But on the 9th time, the witch would have to remember that change would be permanent. Oh. So really, you can come and go 8 times. Right. The 9th time, you're deciding to live as a cat.
Then you got a decision to make.
Oh, a big one.
Do I want to be a cat forever now?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you have a bunch of jellicles to hang out with and have a terrible time, I guess the decision is made for you, and it's no.
Maybe that is how we got old Deuteronomy.
Maybe.
Right?
Maybe that's why old Deuteronomy is so bummed. Wait, is Deuteronomy bummed?
Well, she seems like there's a lot of weight on her shoulders.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She has a lot of decisions to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would. You know what? She is kind of the decision maker. It seems like she must have some sort of communion with the other realms because she can send people to the Heaviside Layer.
Yep.
So you're right. Maybe she was a witch who transformed for the 9th time.
Yeah.
She had that power from life. Interesting. So the relationship between black cats and shapeshifting doesn't end there. The pilgrims at Plymouth Rock, who were a bunch of dorks, were very suspicious of cats being witches' familiars or agents of the devil because they were so preoccupied with like satanic stuff.
Yeah, right.
They were a very suspicious sort in general. So black cats became deeply tied to satanic activity or black magic in their view, and anyone caught with a black cat was punished or killed.
We're so stupid.
Yeah, chill people in general, those
so
pilgrims.
Dumb.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, this last category that I have, I forgot that I wrote this. I was having a good time being back doing our first GTTU of 2020.
Yep.
The category is Meow, I See Dead People.
Okay.
It's not supposed to be now. It's just meow.
Right.
I see dead people.
It took me a second. I was thinking like, meow, that's what I call music.
Oh, well, it's quite good. Okay, so here's the thing. So like we said, cats have a reputation of kind of staring a lot, and some people think that maybe they're staring and they're seeing something that we're not seeing, whether that's ghosts or things from other dimensions or something like that.
I really like that cartoon online where somebody like sees their cat and they're like, what do you think he's looking at? He's just always staring off into nothing. And then from the cat's POV, there's like a wailing ghost.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Cats do factually have extremely good eyesight. They can see super well in the dark. They can see things better than we can. But does that mean that they can see into the dark realms? Their good eyesight, coupled with the legends and folklore, and the fact that they do stare at things like crazy, you can see them do it, seems to feed the legend that they can see things that we can't, that may be ghosts or ghouls or whatever, ghouls. They also have very good hearing. So, factually, so could they be hearing things we can't? Are cats basically little EVP machines?
Yeah.
You know? Plus, they can sense the electromagnetic energy that is produced by other animals. It's an evolutionary thing that's like useful for them in hunting and stuff like that.
Oh.
So does this make them little EMF meters?
So they can sense something without even seeing or hearing it. Mm-hmm. Wow.
There is an article that we will link to in the show notes. It's the story of a cat who got lost on a family trip. It said family trip. It almost seemed to me like maybe this family moved cross country, got lost while they were on this trip, and then returned 200 miles home to its original house. Which must have been a bummer for the cat because their family wasn't there. Or maybe they didn't care about the family. Maybe they cared about the house. But this cat showed up at these people's doorstep. It had a microchip, and they found out that this was the cat that lived here.
That's so crazy.
It's insane. So scientists studied it, or studied, maybe not the cat in general, but looked into this, studied things. And they theorized that, among other things, it may have used its senses, including magnetic fields, in order to find its way home.
Wow.
So there seems like there's validity to them being able to sense electromagnetic energy and fields and things like that. It's a cool article. You might want to look it up. There were also things about other animals. I think turtles. I don't remember if they're the ones that did this, but they realized that some animals can track their way by the stars, the way that people used to, because there were some animals, I'm sorry, I can't remember which one, but that were really good at tracking and finding their way, however they figured out this experiment, finding their way to where they were supposed to go when the sky was clear, and when it was cloudy, they weren't able to find their way as well.
So they were staring at the stars.
Yeah.
I think I know what animal it was.
What?
The centaur.
Oh, it must have been the centaur. They read the stars. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So cats do feel these electromagnetic fields. And if electromagnetic fields seem to change when ghosts are around, it's not, and if we're taking that as a fact, let's say, that's not the most crazy leap, if we're taking that as a fact, that they're sensing that something else is around.
Fascinating.
Totally. So there is a scientific explanation, though, and it's really a theory, because how can you know, for cats staring off into space the way that they do. Their eyesight is so good that they may be sensing subtle motions that we're not even seeing. Ugh. So I wonder if it's like, I'm making this up, a door closed and there's a breeze that wiggles a piece of dust that's in the air or something. And we wouldn't notice it, but a cat sees it and it's moving like crazy. Maybe it's vibrating like crazy.
Yeah.
So the cat is staring at it, probably figure out whether it's safe or not.
Uh-huh.
That's still scary to me.
Yes, that is still scary.
Especially if you look at it in a paranormal context.
They're
it could be that they're
analyses on like a microscopic level almost.
Exactly. So what if they're performing it on an interdimensional level and they're looking at something because they're assessing what the deal is and whether this thing is safe or not. They also said that if a cat stares at you and if it's freaking you out, you can blink slowly to show it that you're not scary.
What?
Yes.
Oh.
Which is weird. And the article also, I think the article may have ended by saying, or they may just be looking at you like that because they love you.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Which is very sweet. So I posit,
yes.
Are cats the most elegant living ghost detectors we have? And how do we harness their power? I think it's just that we have to observe their reactions and give them a little bit of credence.
Yes. Well, I mean, if you think about it, I feel like there have been depictions where there's like a psychic who has her cat.
Yeah.
Things like that. I think in Doctor Sleep, both the movie and the book, there is a cat.
Oh, that's right.
That can sense when people are due to die.
That's right. Oh, that's right. That is very cool. Mm-hmm. There's also in Dear David, which we talked about on a previous episode.
Oh, that's right.
A lot of the action is around the cats reacting to things that aren't there or that we can't see being there on the nanny cam.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Wow. All right.
Scary cat stuff.
Mystical cats.
Mm-hmm. I wonder what Dolittle would make of that.
I know. All right. Well, from the cat to the beloved dog. Mm-hmm. Man's best friend.
That's right.
The house pet. By your side. Sometimes,
little buddies.
Sometimes a little too close.
Never.
Let's talk about urban legends and dogs. Because it occurred to me there are a lot of times that dogs pop up in urban legends.
Yeah.
And one of the most notable is the story of the licked hand.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
For those of you who do not know the story, urban legends are super short, so I'm just going to go ahead and
read
go
for it.
A young girl is home alone for the first time with only her dog for company. Listening to the news, she hears of a killer on the loose in her neighborhood. Terrified, she locks all the doors and windows, but she forgets about the basement window and it is left unlocked. She goes to bed, taking her dog to her room with her and letting it sleep under her bed. She wakes up in the night to hear a dripping sound coming from the bathroom. The dripping noise frightens her, but she is too scared to get out of bed and find out what it is. To reassure herself, she reaches a hand toward the floor for the dog and is rewarded by a reassuring lick on her hand. The next morning when she wakes, she goes to the bathroom for a drink of water, only to find her dead, mutilated dog hanging in the shower with his blood slowly dripping onto the tiles. On the shower wall, written in the dog's blood, are the words, "Humans can lick too."
That is a really good and scary one.
It's great.
Yes.
And it dates back to 1980 in a story called Bedtime for Sam by David Brown.
Good job, David Brown. That's like one of the best quickie urban legends, I feel like.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's not even necessarily that old, as weird as it is to say.
I feel like I could distinguish a human lick from a dog lick.
So do I.
You know?
Yes, absolutely.
Not to victim blame.
I know.
But just saying.
Got to pull it together and
different
really think
kind of
critically. Yeah. So there are versions of that story that pop up in pop culture constantly. It happened in Supernatural. It happened in the Urban Legend film series, the slasher knockoff from Scream, where the killer kills via urban legends.
I love Urban Legend.
There are 3 movies.
Yep.
It happens in 2 of them.
That same thing happens in 2 of them?
That same thing happens in
It doesn't happen in the first one, right?
No.
There's a different dog thing that happens in the first one.
That's correct.
Yes.
And actually that is another story that I kind of referenced, the idea of the old lady who walked her dog in the rain and then to dry it off, put it in the microwave.
Yeah.
Oops.
Nope.
But so this Humans Can Lick 2 was also in a 1997 movie called Campfire Tales.
Okay.
Where a group of friends crash their car, and as they are waiting for help to come or whatever, they spend the time telling urban legends. I have been looking for this movie.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it before.
It used to be on like HBO or one of those things. I saw it, and I remember liking it.
Yeah.
But I must have been 10. And I've tried to find it without luck, and then it came up in my research here. So this is like...
Oh, did you find it to watch now?
Yes.
Is it on like Daily Motion or something?
Oh, I don't know about that, but now I know what that movie was.
Oh, I see. Okay.
There's like a thing in the movie that I remembered, but I could never figure out what the hell it was from.
Yeah.
It was this. I found it in
nice.
my research. There's also Wikipedia claims that a version of Humans Can Lick 2 dates back to a 1919 story called The Diary of Mr. Pointer. But I looked into it, and I don't think that that's the case.
Yeah.
But it is still kind of cool what happens in it. A guy is reading a book. The whole thing is about hair.
Okay.
The entire story is about human hair.
Okay.
Anyway, at a certain point, this guy is reading a book, and he reaches out to pet his dog. He's reading the book a little more, and he reaches out to pet the dog, and then he realizes, oh my God, that's not my dog. And as he thinks it, the figure rises up.
Oh my God.
A giant creature made of human hair.
Oh man, I must really respond to the idea of not looking and like touching something and it turns out not to be the dog. Those stories are both
I know, really bonkers.
Yeah.
There's also a moment in that story where somebody opens a coffin and it's full of hair.
Ugh.
Maybe it has something to do with The Grudge. That feels like a very Grudge kind of thing. But
yeah.
Anyway, Wikipedia says that that's tied to Humans Can Lick 2. I don't really think so, but it sounds interesting.
I mean, it's still a hand and assuming that a dog is touching it, so I get it.
It still is a switcheroo.
Right.
Yeah. Another urban legend, Kristen, is the choking Doberman.
Okay.
A woman goes out for the evening with friends. Upon her return, she is greeted by her pet Doberman choking in the hallway. Alarmed, she takes the pet to the veterinarian. The vet announces that he must perform a tracheotomy on the animal, and he will call her when he has news. When the woman arrives home, the vet calls and tells her to leave the house at once. The dog was choking on 3 human fingers. The woman calls the police, who search the house. They discover the burglar hiding in a closet, passed out from blood loss caused by having 3 fingers bitten off.
Oh my God.
Have you heard that before?
No, I haven't.
That's a fairly common urban legend, the choking Doberman.
I've never heard that before. Again, I don't mean to quibble. That's quite a leap for the vet, I feel like. You know what I mean? That there's a burglar in the house?
Well, yeah, but I guess it gives you that moment in an urban legend of somebody saying, get out of the house,
yes,
which is what you want.
Course. And I guess the dog was actively choking at that moment, so he must have just
It must have just happened. And she was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what his deal is. And so he's like,
Yeah, okay,
oh,
I
his
see
fingers, she didn't go like he bit off my fingers or he bit off my friend's fingers or something. So
I
there's
see it.
cause for alarm.
I take it back. Real quick, you saying giving the dog a tracheotomy thing reminded me. I got Ryan a cover for the back tire thing on his Jeep of our dog Crumbs wearing his Batman Halloween costume from a bunch of years ago.
I love it.
But he had to cut a hole in it for the what's it called? The camera.
Oh, yeah, it's a rear camera? Oh, okay.
And it's on the tire, and it's like right at Crummy's throat, so it looks like Crummy has like a tracheotomy box.
Oh, Kristen.
I know.
Oh, Kristen.
I know. It messes with the effect a little bit,
yeah, just
but
a little
he's
bit.
still cute.
Yeah, it's adorable. So there's a folklorist named Jan Harold Brunvard who wrote a book called The Choking Doberman and Other New Urban Legends. And this person cites an 1800 CE fable? I don't know what CE means.
I don't either.
I forgot. I meant to look that up, but I forgot.
Oh, I don't know. Little homework for our listeners.
Yeah, who the hell knows?
Like...
So it's old.
Yeah.
It's old. About Llewellyn the Great and his dog Gellert. It's the oldest known ancestor to the choking Doberman urban legend.
Cool.
In this original legend, Llewellyn leaves his young son at home with Gellert the dog while on a hunting expedition. Upon Llewellyn's return, the dog greets him with a bloody face.
Ugh.
Thinking the animal...
That's scary.
I know. Thinking the animal has eaten his child, Llewellyn immediately draws his sword and kills Gellert. However, Llewellyn's son is soon found alive near the dead body of a wolf, revealing that Gellert had actually saved the child from harm.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
And then weirdly, though this is an urban legend, there is an article from the Phoenix New Times newspaper from 1981 with the headline, "Gagging Dog Story Baffles Police."
Oh.
It is exactly the choking Doberman story. Down to the type of dog. So like urban legends.
Weird.
Yeah. So urban legends have ways of shifting over the course of time. So you think about the aspects of the choking Doberman. You could say that it's a pit bull. You could say that she didn't go to the vet. She discovered that it was choking and figured out why it's choking.
Right.
Maybe it's not a burglar. Maybe it's a serial killer. Mm-hmm. Maybe he wasn't found in the closet. Maybe he's found under her bed. Like there are certain things that can change. I think this article is where we decided this story was not just the choking dog, it's the choking Doberman.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow.
So as the article says, New Times learned of the story. They relate the entire tale basically as I just told you. And then they say, New Times learned of the story from an employee of a large industrial plant in the valley. He said he had gotten the story third hand from another employee who in turn had said he heard from a woman whose relatives in Las Vegas knew the dog's owner.
So this might just not be true. It might just be somebody who was recounting the urban legend of the choking Doberman.
And then journalists got a hold of it and tried to source it back, but couldn't.
Right.
As of Friday, New Times was not able to nail down the identity of the Doberman's mistress. According to a spokesman at the Las Vegas Sun, that paper too was very interested in breaking the story. Unfortunately, even though the story was all over Vegas last Thursday, the paper and police weren't able to dig up one shred of evidence to prove the incident ever occurred.
Huh.
The police are baffled, the Sun spokesman said. So it got reported.
Weird.
And then journalists tried to figure out this urban legend.
Yeah.
Only to, learn the hard way that urban legends are passed from person to person to person to person. It's a game of telephone.
Right.
They are more than likely not true.
You know
but it ended up in a newspaper.
Okay, I want to put out a call to see if a story that I was told is an urban legend or if it really happened, but I happened to know other people who knew the person it happened to.
Okay.
Because I think I've told this story to friends and they're like, oh, I think I know somebody that happened to.
I love urban legends.
What if they knew the actual person?
Sure.
So it really was a thing. But if our listeners or people from other states are like, oh, yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah, I thought that happened to somebody in high school.
Exactly.
Right.
It's not scary. It's not a scary urban legend. It's a gross/funny one.
Okay.
I definitely told you this like 10 years ago.
I'm just very intrigued.
Okay. And it's going to be a little poopy doopy humor. Okay. So get ready if you don't like that. So when I was in cosmetology school, a girl I went to school with told me that this happened to her friend. I think it was that direct. I think she said, my friend.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Maybe it's her friend's friend. Then
Her
it could be
friend's
just
roommate.
a whatever. But
Right.
anyway, here's the thing. It was that a girl had a one-night stand with somebody. In the morning, they pooped in their toilet. They tried to flush the poop, but it wouldn't flush, and they were panicking because they didn't want the person who they slept with to have to see their poop or like have to deal with it. So they like crept to the kitchen, got a plastic baggie, scooped the poop from the toilet into the baggie, and they were going to throw it out on their own in like a dumpster on the way out or something. The person was still sleeping who they had hooked up with the night before. So they left a note for them saying, "Thank you so much. I had a great time. Call me." Left it on the counter, and then they locked the door behind them and left. And they realized they left the bag with the poop next to the note on the counter that said, "I had a great time. Call me." And that person obviously never called them.
Right.
Now, have you guys out there heard this urban legend before? Because it smacks of an urban legend, but I was presented that this was a pretty close,
Is this a story that swept the nation?
Yes.
People in their early 20s?
Mm-hmm. Let me know.
Let us know.
This was told to me when I was 22, which was 14 years ago in New Jersey. So anyway, just let me know.
Oh, it's so funny.
I know.
Or
great.
are we going to expose somebody on the air?
I know. I have no idea who it was. But I remember telling it to a couple people who never heard it. And there was at least one person who was like, "Oh my God, I must know the person who that happened to or whatever." So that makes me wonder if it's just an urban legend.
Yeah, it's so funny to be like the ramifications of that were like, and they never did call. But
Well,
it's
yeah,
like,
'cause that
it's so
person-
much worse than like they didn't call. It's like,
Because for that,
thank God they didn't call.
that person woke up with poop on their counter and a note that said, "I had a great time."
The fear would be, oh no, what if they do call me? What
So
if I get called out on that?
Yeah, no, I think they just never called. That was the end of it. Yeah.
All right, well, away from poop.
Yes.
And back to scary dogs.
If we must.
If you don't mind. If I may. Let's get into actual like mythological beasts and brutes.
Great.
So what I'm going to talk about now are all versions of hellhounds. Hellhounds are really sort of what you might think of when you think about a mythological monster dog.
Yeah.
It seems to cover a wide array of things. Maybe this is a dog that has flaming red eyes. Maybe they glow in the dark. Maybe they portend doom. Maybe they say that you're going to die. Any number of things. These are all hellhounds. The biggest of which, most exciting of which, the one that I'm so excited that we did this topic because it was so much fun to learn these things, I'm going to tell you now about the Grimm.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Great.
So most people are probably aware of the Grimm from Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. That is the third book and movie in which the titular hero seems to be being stalked by a hulking black dog.
Yeah.
And is later told by Professor Trelawney, the fortune teller at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, that
Wizardry,
that she sees an image of the Grimm in his tea leaves, meaning that he probably is going to die because the Grimm appears to people who are doomed to die.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, Ron says his uncle Bilius was rumored to have seen a Grimm and died a year later. So I looked into it to figure out what is the origin of this concept.
Yeah.
It turns out that J.K. Rowling may have taken some facts from a creature called the Grimm, which is an actual part of folklore, and combined it with a couple of other things, one of which is black shuck.
Oh, I've heard of black shuck. I don't really know a lot about it or anything about it.
Right. Black shuck is basically another black dog. There are just tons and tons of black dogs that are bad news.
Right.
And black shuck is one of the biggest. It might be a cyclops. It seems to be depicted as having one big red eye in the middle of its face. And in the 1901 book, I think, Highways and Byways in East Anglia, here's a quote. It is said that to meet him is to be warned that your death will occur before the end of the year. So you will do well to shut your eyes if you hear him howling. Shut them even if you are uncertain whether it is the dog fiend or the voice of the wind you hear.
That's awesome.
It's awesome. So black shuck, and if you think about that, it feels very much like the Grimm.
Yeah.
The Grimm was originally an English belief, and here is the sort of story behind it.
Cool.
Wikipedia lists this as the Church Grimm. That seems to be the name of it because Grimms were originally said to protect churchyards against thieves, vandals, witches, warlocks, and even Old Scratch himself.
Oof.
In the 19th century, folklorists believe it may have been a custom to bury a dog alive under the cornerstone of a church as a foundation sacrifice so that its ghost will serve as a guardian.
While I obviously hate that, that's awesome.
That...
Not the act of it, but the idea of having a ghost guardian dog is very cool.
Of course. And that concept may have started as a belief that the first person buried in a graveyard would be charged with protecting the grounds against the devil.
I love that.
So in order to prevent a human soul from having to perform such a duty, a black dog was buried in the north part of the churchyard as a substitute.
That's so cool.
There's also a Scottish belief that the most recently buried person is in charge of protecting the churchyard until the next funeral, when a new guardian will replace them.
So that's less daunting.
Yes.
It's not your entire afterlife.
You might have a day.
Yeah, it's a finite amount of time.
You might have a few minutes.
Yeah.
This was known as the graveyard watch.
That's so cool.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yes.
In Scandinavian folklore, sometimes the grim is a lamb, which is buried underneath the altar. If seen in the graveyard, it portends the death of a child.
Wow.
There are other animals that can become the grim. Boars, horses, or the grave sow.
Ooh.
The ghost...
Are these all black? Is that...
I don't know, but they're animals.
Yeah.
The ghost of a sow that was buried alive, often seen as an omen of death. There's also a Swedish tradition called the Arsgang, the year walk. You walk around a churchyard on New Year's Eve. You have like a bunch of things you're supposed to do in order as you do this walk. And you might contend with supernatural creatures that prevent you from doing this, like the grim.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you do the instructions of the walk correctly, you could catch a glimpse of what's to come for you in the following year. So it might be worth the
risk of running into the grim.
Exactly.
That's so cool. You know, there's a dog that lives around the corner from us that looks a lot like the grim.
Oh, really?
Like a very shaggy, kind of spiky black dog. They walk off the leash.
Put a leash on your dog.
Put a leash on it. That's all. But it looks like the grim.
Don't make me call the police on you again.
Oh, I'll do it. That's a whole other episode.
Kristen and I have a close relationship with the local popo. We call the popo on people that do the no-no.
Oh, left and right. Let me see. How many dogs have I called the popo about without a leash?
Yeah.
Twice, but still.
Hey, popo, I got another no-no.
Got another no-no for you.
Yeah. Put a leash on your dog.
Leash the dog.
Oh,
it's
did
just
you
safe.
train it? It's really, 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 really trained. Oh, he's smart. He likes to walk with you. Put a leash on your dog.
Don't care. Leash the dog.
The name The Grim is kind of interesting. There's a folktale about a bridge in North Yorkshire. It was built in the hopes of withstanding the fury of floods, which was too tough to do until the devil offered to build a strong bridge.
I mean, maybe it was stone.
Stone strong bridge.
Stones are strong.
They are strong in exchange for a sacrifice. Whatever living creature first crosses
this
the
is
bridge...
the devil?
This is my devil.
Okay.
Whatever living creature first crosses the bridge will be taken.
This is...
The people couldn't decide until a shepherd had an idea. He had a dog named Grim.
Oh, Grim.
He swam across the river and then whistled for his pooch, who walked across the bridge and was taken by El Diablo.
What the hell?
That bridge...
This was a good dog.
The name of that
Come
bridge?
On. Yeah.
Kilgrim
Bridge. Kilgrim Bridge.
Kilgrim Bridge. It's a real place.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Kilgrim Bridge, and it got the name because the devil killed a grim there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I know. Here are some similar stories. I didn't go into super depth on these, and one of them that I don't go into super depth on, because there's literally... The Wikipedia for Hellhounds and Black Dog stories is gargantuan. So I tried to find interesting ones. Here are some like little tasty morsels.
Yeah.
The Q Sith. So Brett Manning art. I'm sorry, I'm not doing a deeper dive. I don't know as much, but the Q Sith in Scottish folklore is a green dog. It barks 3 times. By the end of its third bark, you'd better get to safety or you're dead.
That's cool.
By the end of its third bark, I stuttered real hard on that. Then this is a real baffling one. But I also want to point out that was another Sith. I like seeing the Sith pop up and stuff as we research it now.
I know. I really had never heard of it until then. I didn't know that Sith had anything to do with anything outside of this Star Wars universe.
You know, they've got to do
really
some
cool.
like majorly different stuff with Star Wars now because everybody's pooping all over the new trilogy.
Yeah.
And everyone loves The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I would love to see a story where an evil person has like a hellhound.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be
sweet.
cool? Couldn't they have like
Absolutely.
a cool Sith dog?
Yeah.
That'd be rad.
I'd be all over it.
Anyway, here's a weird dog. The Maudie Dew. It haunts Peel Castle in Manx. You know where that is, right?
Of course.
So do I.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Maudie Dew. And then I was thinking,
Maudie Dew.
Maudie Dew. It's like DHOOO.
Yeah.
Oh. Why am I stuttering?
I don't know.
So it's DHOO.
Yeah.
Which made me think obviously of Scooby Doo.
Right. Maudie Dew. Scooby Doo.
Right. And so I was kind of like, did Scooby Doo
like evolve from Maudie Dew?
But then
Maudie Dew, where are you?
Right. But then I remembered our Guide to the Unknown of yesteryear.
Right.
Episode 48, we talked about Scooby-Doo. And he got his name from Frank Sinatra's Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Oh, my God. I did
true.
not remember that.
Which is true.
Yes.
So there just happens, it's just a coincidence
Weird.
that there is a ghost dog.
Named Maudie Dew. That's quite a coincidence. I will say, so I've been putting up every Tuesday, I put a clue as to what the coming week's episode is on patreon.com/GTTUpod. And the guesses on my clue for this week were both Scooby-Doo, because I titled it, instead of Tuesday Clues Day, I said Tuesday Doos Day, because of Doctor Dolittle.
Yeah.
And then I made allusions to dogs and sniffing. And Scooby-Doo was a very good guess.
Very good guess.
But not correct.
You never could have known that it would end up in here somewhere, though, as Maudie Dew.
I had no idea Maudie Dew was coming. I only had eyes for Doolittle.
Very strange. Then, of course, there's the Hound of the Baskervilles.
Yep.
Which I'm a big fan of.
Same.
Sir Charles Baskerville has been found dead, a look of horror frozen upon his face.
That's right. This is a story from Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Yes.
A Sherlock Holmes story.
Not far from his corpse were found the footprints of a gigantic hound. According to an old legend, a curse runs in the Baskerville family when Sir Hugo Baskerville abducted and murdered a woman, which I didn't remember.
I don't remember that either.
Only to be killed by a demonic hound. The same creature has been haunting the place ever since, causing the premature death of many Baskerville heirs. And then I found this from ancient-origins.net. They think they might have the origin of the Hound of the Baskervilles.
Oh, cool.
A hound that's gigantic and like glows at night with phosphorus and stuff like that. Here is what they had to say. On Dartmoor, the notorious Squire Cabell was said to have been a huntsman who sold his soul to the devil. When he died in 1677, black hounds are said to have appeared around his burial chamber. The ghostly huntsman is said to ride with black dogs. This tale inspired Arthur Conan Doyle to write his well-known story, The Hound of the Baskervilles.
Cool. That's awesome.
Also, for just as a sidebar, I'm sure this is common trivia for some people who are into this kind of thing, but it's worth pointing out because I think it's kind of fun. Hound of the Baskervilles is probably one of the most famous Sherlock Holmes stories.
Yeah.
It's actually, he had already killed Sherlock Holmes. Hound of the Baskervilles was the first story that came out after the entire public said, how dare you kill Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah.
So he came back to do another, and it became one of the most well-known stories of all time, so much so that it might be people's go-to when it's really almost like a tacked-on story. Just so odd.
Yeah. Well, people were so thrilled to have him back. I'm sure that's why it blew up and it's so memorable.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm going to start wrapping it up now.
Okay.
Just a few short, quick ones. Like the Cadejo in Central America. There are actually two. There's a black dog and a white dog. The black dog will kill travelers, and it smells like urine and sulfur.
Oh, very good.
His pal, the white dog, wants to protect those travelers. So it's sort of a good-evil duality.
What does it smell like? Marshmallows.
Marshmallows.
Yeah.
And urine. Yeah. In Wales, there is a black dog that haunts St. Donat's Castle.
St. Donuts?
St.
It's my
Donuts.
patron saint.
St. Donut. Sometimes accompanied by a hag. Which I just...
Yeah.
You know, a hag is one of those concepts that I would also like to look into.
I like
out.
a hag.
I know, but it's just funny to only like in a glancing blow be like,
right.
There's a hag with him.
Yeah.
That's all. And then here's my last little dog. How about Padfoot? You know, we got into the whole Grimm thing with Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Padfoot itself.
Yeah, that's right.
Is a hellhound. It follows people with the light padding sound of its paws, and it can utter a roar unlike the voice of any known animal.
Cool.
Sometimes you can hear the sound of a trailing chain along with the sounds of its footsteps.
That's cool. Yeah.
I looked up Cerberus a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's fine.
I don't really know what that is.
Yeah, he's got 3 heads. He guards the gates of hell in Greek mythology.
Okay.
I used to really love Greek mythology.
It's so funny. I have the Greek mythology book that we had when we were kids.
Mom's book?
Yeah. And every once in a while I think about reading it and I just never do. I should.
I read that book so many times.
Oh, me too. I bet it'd be really nostalgic and like weird to read as an adult.
Greek mythology can be really like out there.
Yeah, totally.
They don't usually they're monsters aplenty, but I feel like they're not usually scary.
No, I don't remember it being scary. I just remember it being like cool and weird and interesting.
Exactly. Even Medusa with like snakes for hair didn't scare me, but I was like, this is fascinating.
Yeah, it's just really interesting.
So we all basically accept that Cerberus has 3 heads. However, the way that it was originally depicted in artwork, like on pottery, stuff like that, sometimes it had 1. Sometimes it had 2. Sometimes it has many heads.
Not a hard and fast rule.
It's also said to have a snake for a tail.
Oh, ew. I don't love that.
Hercules was challenged to bring Cerberus out of Hades, not because anybody wanted
Cerberus
dog.
around.
He was challenged purely because the task was thought to be impossible.
Herculean
effort went into that.
Yeah.
And then the final thing I have to say is kind of loosey-goosey, but I liked it, and I happened to stumble across it recently.
Okay.
On the Howard Stern show, especially recently, there's a guy named High Register Sean. Have you heard this?
No.
Okay. So High Register Sean believes in dogmen.
Oh, no, I haven't heard this.
He's like a conspiracy theorist guy. I very recently have turned out to be a big Howard Stern fan. Never saw this coming.
Same.
Didn't see it coming, but really enjoying it.
Yeah, totally.
And
listen to a lot of Howard Stern.
High Register Sean claims that he has seen dogmen in his own backyard. They don't have souls because they're made in a lab. They are literally like, from what I can understand, I tried to look into this. The reason that I'm not reading my notes anymore is because it's just all over the place.
Yeah.
But from what I can gather, he thinks that the government has made dog-man hybrids.
Okay.
Because they might be easy to command.
Okay. All right.
I think.
Huh.
Anyway.
Was this on the show recently?
Kind of.
Huh. No, I did not hear this.
He was on the show recently, and they referenced the fact that he had talked about dogmen with them periodically. But I think on yesterday's show, they had this guy, High Register Sean. He likes to be called Shawnee.
Yeah.
They had him on. He was on for almost an hour talking about all manner of conspiracy theories. Flat Earth, hollow Earth, all kinds of stuff.
You know why I didn't hear this? Yesterday, I was listening to the Blank Check podcast episode about Silence of the Lambs, which was like 3 hours long, so it took up all my listening time yesterday. So I missed the show.
Okay.
Well, this makes sense.
A worthwhile reason.
Yeah.
But you should go back.
I will.
And Howard Stern, as they're talking to this guy, he keeps going like, all right, we got to move on. I can't talk to this guy anymore. And then they keep talking to him.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, they're talking. This guy, Shuley, who works a lot with like the Whack Pack, which is like the ragtag weirdos on that show, like High Pitch Eric.
Yeah.
Howard at one point goes like, I want you like on a plane to him like tonight. So I'm hoping there's going to be more talk of conspiracy theories, urban legends.
Oh man, I'm totally going back and listening to this.
Stuff to come on Howard Stern. It was very exciting. Dogmen, according to High Register Shawnee from the Howard Stern show, might exist, and they might be a government program to create dogmen.
Interesting. Well, that also reminds me, I can't remember who it was, but they've been mocked. Not they have been. It was a while ago. They were mocking somebody because they felt they had a visitation from their dog in their dreams. Does that ring a bell to you?
Yes, that was Sal Governale.
Okay. Yeah.
He said his dog visited him in his dream, which is also something that I've said.
Yes, totally. But they were giving him the hardest of times. You can imagine.
No, you can't imagine. These guys.
Yeah, they razz each other like nobody's business.
Yeah.
I also want to mention, it's said, I think it's still the case, that black dogs and cats aren't adopted nearly as much as animals of other colors. So please consider adopting a black dog or cat.
Yeah, can we please
They're
celebrate
wonderful.
Black dogs and cats
They're
right now?
They're great.
Yes.
Listener of the show and friend Aurora works for the Philadelphia ACC Animal Center, and I know she would love for you guys to adopt some black dogs and cats.
Yes,
so
adopt some black dogs and cats.
We had a family cat that was black for a long time. Our parents also had one before we were even born or anything. Fabulous animal. Fabulous animals.
So
go ahead and get a black dog or cat. How badass would it be to have the Grimm at home?
Exactly. It should be something that we should be celebrating.
Yes, it's cool.
It's badass.
Yeah, if you like scary stuff, like that's kind of an ultimate status symbol of somebody who likes creepy stuff.
All animals deserve love. All animals deserve respect and everything.
Of course.
Black animals being maligned, let's celebrate instead. Lift them up.
Yeah.
Have a party.
Let's elevate them.
Yeah, put a leash on them.
Yeah, put a leash on them. All right?
Could
Well,
you?
we're putting a leash on this episode and we're taking it inside.
All right.
We're done.
That's a wrap.
That's it.
All right.
Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Oh, me too.
And you can hang out with us throughout the week in between episodes by going to patreon.com/gttupod and donating to get some of our all of our bonus content if you donate $4 or more per month.
Yep. Go get the brand new episode that's out now.
Yep.
You get to get our basically live reactions as we watch these music videos. You can listen along with us, and there's a link so that you can watch what we are watching at the same time.
Yep.
A lot of fun, really crazy. I want to do more stuff like that in the future.
Yeah. It was really fun.
I really hope that you guys will enjoy it. Patreon.com/gttupod.
That's right. You can also leave us a review if you like the show by going to Apple Podcasts or any place that you can leave reviews. We would really super appreciate it because then when people see that it has a lot of reviews, they're like, oh, people like them. They'll listen to it. They join our cool community. Maybe they join the Patreon. We can get more money to do cool, different sorts of things.
Yep.
You get more people to hang out with and talk about the show within the groups. It's only a good thing to have more people listening to the show because we can put out more cool stuff.
Exactly. It always makes us feel good to read them, especially when we see one like this review that Fuzzy Torty left. Love this podcast. I absolutely love this podcast.
Oh, that's nice.
Keep up the great work, guys. Thanks for taking your time to keep us informed of the unusual and creepy and making us laugh in the process. Signed, Dusty. 5 stars.
Thank you, Dusty.
Thank you, Dusty.
5 stars to that review. Thank you. And you can hang out with people like Dusty in our private Facebook group by going to facebook.com/groups/gttupod and follow us everywhere on social media at gttupod.
Yeah, you can also follow us individually as people.
That's right. I'm at Kristen on Instagram and Twitter.
And I am the Myth Traveler.
That's right.
So thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Go pet your dog, pet your cat, take some pictures of them. Get a black cat today, put a leash on some stuff.
That's right.
And we will see you next week for more spooky stories from the great beyond. But until that time comes, we must travel.
Back to the netherworld. The netherworld. Go we. Back to the netherworld.
Back to the netherworld. Go we.
Talk like Net Butters.
Yeah, it's time to go back to the netherworld, I think. I don't know who that is.
Jimmy? On South Park? Is that his name? Jimmy?
Oh,
Timmy?
wow. What a great audience.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it is Jimmy. Yeah. Bam, there you go, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out.
CBFR1186 says, hey, Will and Kristen, are you guys still looking for topics?
Always. Absolutely. Come on.
Jinx, buy me a topic.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Send us topics. We would love to see.
You can send us an email.
gttupod@gmail.com or at gttupod or even just right here.
Yeah, totally.
And I'll try to write it down real quick.
Yeah.
I would also say that for people that do back us on Patreon, if there's stuff that you would like to see us cover over there, we have a little more freedom there than we do here. There are certain things that we can't put out on the main feed podcast.
Right.
Basically, our new Patreon episode is a really good example of something that we couldn't do on the original feeds. So if there's ever stuff that you want us to cover there, let us know because we'll try to go a little more. We'll try to go a little further with things over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Let's see. I know that Megan wanted us to look something up, so I want to look it up real quick, but I was afraid of
Let's see.
pausing. Before you guys leave, look up Likoi cats.
Likoi cats.
Likoi cats. They're really neat and right up your alley. I want one so bad. I apologize if you've already covered them. I came in at naked cats. No, didn't look it up. Didn't look it up. And hey, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle. Okay, it looks like, the Likoi is a natural mutation from a domestic short hair that has the appearance of a werewolf. The mutation has occurred in domestic cats over the last 20 years. DNA testing has been done by UC Davis to confirm that the cats do not carry the Sphinx/Devon gene. I'll show you. They almost look like, they do look like werewolves. Oh my God.
They're real?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy. That's really cool.
Wow, they look crazy.
They
look really cute.
Yeah.
They almost look, you know what's weird? They look like hairless cats that have grown hair.
The pictures that come up before you even hit the images on Google that are just the preview things, you're right. It looks like halfway between a hairless cat and kind of like a regular, hair cat or whatever. That's neat.
That's really cool.
So are these like expensive, like, designery cats or something like that?
But it's almost like treated like a mutation.
Yes,
so
maybe people don't like it.
A new kind of cat?
That's crazy.
There's a new kind of cat in the world?
Yeah, this is cuckoo. That's
really
cool.
wild.
Thank you for telling me. I did not know about that.
I did not know about that. Hell yeah, get one of those. Lycoi cat.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, I don't think I can ever get another cat while we have Crummy. Crummy freaks out at cats except for our cat Chloe, I guess because he grew up with her. But even if we bring Crumbs to our mom's house, like she has to put the cat away because Crumbs goes ape.
Our dogs are absolute freaks.
Yeah, they're nuts. So I don't think we'll ever get another cat.
Yeah, our dogs love each other, but
Yes.
then like Molly, we can't have her anywhere near any other dog.
We can't have Crummy near other dogs because they'll hump him.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
We walked Molly down by the dog park the other day and then just tried to see how close we can get to the dog park before she freaks out. She did very well.
Oh, that's good.
She embarrassed us at one point, but that's to be expected.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
But she just can't handle other dogs.
No, he really can't either.
She
They love
also-
each other, thank God.
Fascinatingly, she was staring at the little dog side of the dog park and seemed to be loving it. And then a big dog crossed her field of view, lost her mind. It's only big dogs.
Ooh, Crumbs
with
doesn't
Molly.
like little dogs in particular.
Which is weird because Crumbs is bigger than Molly.
I know.
She likes him even though he's bigger. He likes
Yes.
her even though she's smaller.
Yes. Oh, weird. They're so
Very
cute.
weird. Very weird.
Let me see.
Sweet and weird.
Weird. Okay, so CBFR said Doris Blither and Hannah. Did you look that up? Will wrote it down. Okay, we'll look it up later.
Yeah, I didn't look it up, but we're keeping notes of what to do. So I wrote down Doris Bither and Hannah Crana.
All right, sweet.
Yeah, thank you very much for sending that.
Yeah, thank you. Dawn says it's cool we stand on. Yeah, I mean it's awesome that we have this live chat. So yeah, we like to say hi to you guys, see what's up. So I'm glad that you like it.
Yeah, thank you for hanging out with us.
Yes, absolutely.
Megan, I believe this is in reference to the cost of the Lycoi cats, $2,000 plus.
Man, I mean, I'm not that surprised because even though it's a mutation,
right,
it's like a specialty thing. So I guess anything that's like a little different is gonna be luxury.
Yeah.
You know, they're mostly cute. Some of them are a little freaky looking. Some of them kind of look like the cats in Cats, like the human.
Ew.
You know what I mean?
That.
Right?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like, doesn't that one? I don't know where I'm looking, but the black and white one, it kind of looks like Magical Mr. Mistopheles. I feel.
This right here. Well, he's got the fur pattern. It doesn't mean that he looks like.
No, but there's another
Mr.
one that I feel like
Mistopheles.
its nose looks like a human nose.
Ew.
That one.
Maybe High Register Shawnee also feels like there are.
Yeah, maybe cat people.
Cat people. Yeah. No, it's a little kitty cat. Don't be a freak. You've been corrupted by the movie.
That's
Cats.
a human nose.
You've been corrupted.
I don't know.
You've been corrupted.
So we're taking a look at some of the comments.
Yeah, Tina Nelson is with us on leashing dogs. She is afraid of dogs. And will freeze when she sees people walking. It's inconsiderate for 1,000 reasons to not leash your damn dog.
And it's not safe for the dog.
No. Well,
it's not even me being a fuddy-duddy about whatever. It's everything.
Yes.
It's everything. It's inconsiderate to other people who might not feel safe with a dog off a leash. Yep. It's inconsiderate to other people with dogs whose dogs might freak out because they see that this is a free dog and they're not free. Right. I hate it. It drives me nuts. And that dog could... It's still an animal, even though it's smart. Yeah. What if something captures its fancy and it runs into the road? You know what I mean? I just don't like it.
What do you think? They came up with Dog Fancy magazine just out of nothing?
Right?
Dogs fancy stuff.
Yes, they fancy things.
Put a leash on them.
Leash them.
Anyway. All right, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us. All right.
Thank you for hanging out. Cool.
Oh, wait. Hold on. CBFR gave us a little more deets on these stories.
I'm interested.
Doris Bither is the entity case.
Oh, you know
what is that? Why does that ring a bell? And then Hannah Crana is a supposed witch that lived in Monroe, Connecticut.
Great.
She's supposed to appear at her grave on Halloween night. I love
Fabulous.
it.
All right, we'll look into it. Thank you.
Megan says, also, Will Sith dogs are the Tucatas.
Oh, cool.
They guard the literal Sith.
Like in Star Wars.
I was thinking of Irish folklore again.
I was too. I was like, oh, okay. I guess that's another name for them.
My bad. The Tucatas guard the Sith Lord tombs on Korriban.
Oh, of course.
I should have known. I should have known they exist. Of course they exist.
Known.
You do know that in the Han Solo movie they had dogs. They had.
I saw it. I don't remember.
They had things on leashes that were like screaming at Han Solo or whatever, and those were, I mean, they CGI'd the faces, but they were actual dogs in costumes on those leashes.
Oh, really?
And so there were like dog actors and dog actresses.
That's really funny.
That like they pulled like the alien heads off them, just like happy to be working, and then you put the alien head on them, they'd shoot some scenes.
That's funny. That's cute.
CBFR says The Entity is the movie with Barbara Hershey. You haven't seen the movie? I have not seen The Entity.
I don't know know if I have either, because I can't think of a horror movie with Barbara Hershey in the lead.
Who's Barbara Hershey?
She's I don't know, just she's an actress.
Oh, I'm aware of this.
Yeah, me too. The cover looks familiar and stuff. Ooh. I don't know if I want to watch that.
Yeah, it seems a little intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there it goes, and they're going to defeat the invisible attacker. Mm-hmm. All right, I hope they do.
Yeah, I certainly hope they do.
I hope they do.
Yeah. But I have seen that cover and everything before.
Yeah.
So I know what you're talking about.
I'm a fan of her snacks.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Scrumptious.
She played the mom in Black Swan. Barbara Hershey.
Oh, okay.
She also, who was she dating? I think she was dating a young hottie for a long time. I think it was somebody from Lost. I think she might have been with the guy who played Saeed on Lost. They were like long-term boyfriend and girlfriend.
I was trying to think of an extended Candy joke, so when you said who is she dating, the name I came up with was Caramel Jones.
Oh my God.
And their kisses.
Oh my God.
Were delicious.
Let me look up Barbara Hershey Saeed and see if I'm right. William.
Caramel
Hershey?
Jones. I've been dating Caramel Jones. Oh, and then CBFR says, remember Barry Taff? Oh my God.
Oh.
I remember Barry Taff. This is like a real Fight Club. Like his name was Robert Paulson. Remember Barry Taff. Remember Barry Taff.
I have something hot off the presses about Barry Taff. Okay. You know how, I can't believe I forgot to tell you this. You know how, I don't think our listeners at home know how, if I have to go out and be social, I sometimes listen to our episodes because I'm like, look at you, you're fun. You can go socialize. You're good. Yeah. I listened to the Girls Next Door episode. The paranormal investigator who went to the Playboy Mansion was Barry Taff.
No way.
Yes. Who we have talked about because he was in Demon House.
Could he have gotten something at the Playboy Mansion that made his organs shut down?
Here's the weird thing.
He didn't go into that lagoon, did he?
Oh, God. Yeah, maybe he got like some sort of weird parasite or something in the lagoon. Oh, no. But here's the weird thing. He visits the Playboy Mansion. Also, this just could be like a go-to paranormal investigator of LA or something. But anyway, or Vegas or whatever it is. He goes to Playboy Mansion, interacts with Bridget Marquand and Holly Madison. Later, interacts with Zach Bagans in Demon House. Oh. Then, Zach Bagans and Holly Madison start dating.
Ooh. Dr. Barry Taff.
I always thought that Bridget Marquardt hooked them up.
Sure.
Maybe it was Dr. Barry Taff.
I think Dr. Barry Taff might also be a love doctor.
Yeah, maybe. Exactly. And he fixed up Zach Bagans and Holly Madison. I died. I said it in the episode. I'm like, and paranormal investigator Dr. Barry Taff. And I was like, the Barry Taff. We didn't make the connection at the time. By the way, I was right. Barbara Hershey and Naveen Andrews dated from 1998 to 2009.
Oh, okay. Congratulations to them.
Absolutely.
Well, CBFR points out that that was his first case while working as a parapsychologist, and then also points that we refer to him as Barry Taffy.
Oh, yes. The Playboy Mansion was his first case ever? I'm surprised they got somebody so green.
I guess, yeah.
Well, he wasn't that green. He's still like an old man.
He's worked on a ton of cases in California.
Huh. Why do you know so much about Barry Taff?
Are you Barry Taff?
Yeah. Wait. No, I was like, is there a BT in the username CBFR?
Dr. Barry Taff. Yeah. We have to riddle out. Oh, man. Another thing that I want to bring up. Mm-hmm. Oh, damn it. I wanted to figure this out before we went live.
Oh, the live stream? We'll have to do it next time. Or like figure it out.
Because I want to get people in on it. I want to totally talk it up a bit and have people come join us. Mm-hmm. We have some solving to do.
Yes.
We need your help solving some things. Kristen's my big sister.
William is my little brother.
We might need your help solving some stuff. Kristen and I might do a Patreon live stream. Yes. And I want you all to be ready for it. I'm going to send you a save the date soon.
Yeah. Oh, the entity case was his first. Okay,
not the Playboy Mansion. Okay. All right.
Gotcha.
All right, everybody.
Well, thank you. These were great Barry Taff info. Thank you very much.
A lot of info. Thank you. All right, everybody. All right,
guys.
I think we're going to bounce now.
Yep.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We hope that you had fun.
Yeah.
The show that we recorded tonight will be out on Friday.
That's right.
And we will talk to you again at some point in the future.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Oh.